right, twin. What's good, people? This is my trade. Now, I've been trading this past few days, and I've been shorting gold like crazy. It all has been just shorts after all for the past. Well, I had this buy, I got stopped out. But I've started taking shorts when I think last Thursday. Like we've been really bearish. We displaced, we went up, tap into the premium, then just short. This is how simple my strategy is. This one was on the discount. I was anticipating for a buy. Boom. Didn't work out, got stopped out. It happens. But then as well as over here, we broke structure to the downside, came back to a premium price, and then I shorted once again. Um, this was today. Was this today? I think this was today. Shorted once again, and another short over here. We caught this on New York session. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. Like we caught. Like I had some losses in my trading. Obviously, like a lot of losses, but we had an overall profit of 2,500. We deposited 35,000, 2,500 as our profit for my live, and for my shit. Let me clean this up, bro, for y'all. For my trading funded account, we're up 2,785. 70% win rate. It's not 100, but it's nice. We have 300 yesterday, 700 last night, 2,000 traded for. There's two. Well, I traded Asia and New York on this day. I lost on Friday, so yeah, it's been a good week, but that doesn't dictate whether I win or lose. It's still like a good week because that's what trading is all about. Is making sure that whether it's a good or whether there's a win or loss, you can still stick to the plan and stick to the process because you know that in long term and long period of time and series of trades, you can make money in the market by just following your plan, following your strategy, and knowing what you look for in the market. But yeah, initially, I'm gonna set this up. Initially, I'll put it over. Initially, what I want you guys, what I want to talk about with y'all, I wrote it down in paper, but it's just the identity shift I had to become, and yeah, the identity shift that I had to become before I became profitable as a trader. So, like before you become a profitable trader, you gotta build these types of habits, and it's there's only really three things that get got me into groove of profitability, whether it's a win or loss, because the habit is much more important, and the identity, you functioning day to day, and you knowing whether it's a win or loss, you're still gonna move the same way every single day. That's what identity shift is. All right, so the first identity shift is obviously knowing what you're looking for in the market and making sure that you as a trader know what your strategy is, and make sure you can back test it. You can you can know if it actually fits your personality. uh, does it have a good win rate, RR ratio, that allows you to make more profit rather than losses. The whole goal in trading is to win more and lose less. That's all what trading is. And if your RR is negative RR and your win rate is below 50%, well, then that shouldn't be a trade. You should be trading that strategy after all, right? Um, and what is your main pair? What's your main confluences? The timing of the market. How do you trade? How do you manage your trade? How do you manage your risk as well? You have a set rule for your risk. Do you divide it by 6 to 10 so that when you lose 10 times, that's the only way you can blow your account? 10 times in a row, you lose that, you blow the account. But then if you're trading with a good setup, a good quality setup, and you know the strike rate, the win rate, it fits your personality. You're a high RR type of guy in trading. Are you bottom ticker bottom ticker or top ticker? Like, are you that type of trader? You gotta know that for yourself. So if you're not in this identity of not knowing, if you don't know what you're looking for in the market, well, then it's gonna be hard for you psychologically. You can't be focusing on psychology if you don't know what you're looking for. You know what I mean? How you're gonna practice that consistently? How you gonna execute consistently if you don't have a consistent strategy? So you know you gotta know for yourself. Are you a reversal or continuation trader? Like for me, I'm both. But I like reversals because I can capture majority of uh, the RR. I can win more on reversals and I can keep more profits than I lose. Second is psychology in trading is just less is more. Less is more in trading. That's what psychology is. You're just taking out the bad habits, right? So if you're over trading, if you're revenge trading, if you're over leveraging, just cut that out. How do you cut that out? It's so hard. Curbs, it's so hard. Well, you have to realize what your motives, what's triggering you. From, is it an unrealistic expectation that you're gonna get rich overnight? Is it because you haven't paid the rent? Is it a car note? Like all these things that affects you, all these external factors that doesn't even relate to trading, you're really just like putting it in your mind, and that affects you before, during, and after your trade. That's why you're doing all these bad habits: revenge trading, over trading, over leveraging, and um, over leveraging. I think that's the most common one. And then you're relating that into your trading. So that's getting into your mind, and that affects your whole strategy. Whether that Rather than you focusing on your setup, you focusing on the type of trade that you're gonna take. Is it a reversal pattern, or is it a continuation pattern? Is it, instead of focusing on the trading, you're focusing on the how you're gonna pay the bills. Trading does not care whether you're gonna pay the bills or not, whether you're gonna pay the car note, whether if you're heartbroken. Trading doesn't care about that. Trading care. Trading will pay you. The market will pay you if you followed your plan that works every single time. You know what I mean? Not necessarily every single time, but have a high win rate statistically. Whether it's 60%, 70%, all of that. If you can find a strategy that works and you can follow every single time, well, then your psychology is just gonna get easier because all you had to do is just follow it. Oh, this loud fucking mowers, yo. Making a video, man. Anyways, excuse my words. But yeah, so, holy shit, bro, these mowers, man. All right, so suppress the emotions that triggers you and recognize the unrealistic expectation. Recognize those. You don't need to accept those identity that comes into your mind, but recognize you're the person that chooses, that observe those thoughts, because you are not your thoughts. You control your thoughts. You can observe your thoughts and pick what actually comes into your mind and what you can, externalize. Those external factors comes into your mind before, during, and after you trade does not relate to trading at all. So you choose if you're gonna accept the identity of unprofitability, where you just let emotions comes in. See, like that's, for example, that's triggering me to get mad because it's loud and I'm trying to make a video for y'all. But essentially, know those triggers. You don't need to accept those emotions. You don't need to accept the identity of unprofitability. But then recognize, forgive yourself, and then suppress those emotions. Okay, you unprofitable self, you stay there for now. I'm gonna follow my strat. I'm gonna follow my risk management plan. I'm gonna follow everything that I said I need to, because I know in a long period of time and series of trade that I'm gonna win more and lose less by just following this. Okay? And then uh, step into the identity of a profitable trader by just going back to your plan. After you just step aside the old self, the old unprofitable self, you can now accept the identity of you being a profitable trader by just, going back to your plan. Whether that's, reminding yourself a profitable trader is a 1 to 2 trade in a day type of trader. A profitable trader is someone that manages his risks, doesn't over leverage, have a consistent risk where he could make money as well. A good amount of risk, especially if you're trading prop firms. If you're not used to $500 risk, well then lower that down. $200 risk, right? Have a set risk. You're gonna be the one pressing the button anyways. So have a set plan. Follow that plan, then go back to your plan, accept those identity and those emotions of being a profitable trader. A calm, collected, calculated trader who doesn't think. You don't need to think. You just need to press the button when you see your setup. And you don't need to think. You're just calm. And when you see your setup, you press the button. When you start thinking more, that's when you start stimulating yourself. You gotta have this mentality of like, okay, I see my setup, I see the time, I see it happens all the time, and you see it happens all the time. I'm just gonna click because I know in my data, I win more and lose less. That's all psychology of trading is. Then third, lastly, have a life, brother. You don't need to stay up all night in trading unless like you're like me. Like I trade like intraday or sometimes I scalp, right? Because this is my whole life. But my life in trading have a routine. I only have like 1 to 2 hour window, unless I'm intraday trading, right? So I would go out for walks after I trade. Go out for walks so I can regulate myself, regulate my emotions. I can just chill down, relax, cool off. Hang out with my friends. After a win or a loss, it doesn't matter. It doesn't dictate like win or a loss. You're gonna feel like a little bit of emotions, but bro, you don't need to step into that. Just be calm, collected, and over time you get used to this identity of trader where you just calm, you're just cool, whether it's a win or loss, right? have faith in God as well to strengthen you as a human being. Because if you're relying, to someone bigger, a higher power, that created you, well then you can give all your problem. You don't need to like take all these problems that you feel that you feel that it's so big. No, you just give it to him. Be come as you are to him. Just come as you are, and you know you don't need to be perfect. If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, if you're Buddhist, it doesn't matter, bro. Go and put all your problems and then do good things. Have faith to strengthen you, right? And then don't be driven by your P&L. Instead, build a process driven character, a process based character where you can just follow your plan. You have a routine, 1 to 2 trades a day, or in a 1 to 2 hour span, a window. And then you go about your day, take a walk, maybe go to work, work on something else, go to a park, go hang out with your boys, go hang out with your girls. Doesn't matter. But what's important is have a life, have a routine. You don't want to be just stuck trading, and that's all you do. That's the worst thing you can do, because the more you kind of like in the markets, you're gonna develop this analysis paralysis where you can't focus no more when the setup is actually there, presenting. And you don't want that. You want to have a consistent balanced life where you're enjoying whether there's a win or a loss. You can get back to the next day or next session, you can trade, right? Like, you don't want to be in the markets and over analyzing, overstimulating yourself, thinking that you're progressing by just going to the markets. No, you don't need that. I just traded with the Discord, and all it took is like 1 hour, 1 to 2. It was 1 hour and a half, and then I'm done. I'm making these videos for you guys, and then after this video, I'm doing something else. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about trading because I already know what I'm looking for. I've back tested it. I don't need to, overstimulate myself. Maybe at the start, like hindsight, you still gotta work towards that, gathering your data and all that. But once you have confidence in actually live markets where you can see it and actually traded it and it's working, that's enough for you to just adapt to the market and just keep pressing the button when you see your setup. And yeah, I think that's it. That's all it is. Like, the payouts, the P&L doesn't even define you as a trader. What defines you as a trader is the habits. Can you do it again? How consistent are you in the wins, and how consistent are you in the losses? How do you get back from drawdown? How do you handle all of those stages to just get back on top? That's what profitable trading is. It's not the P&L. It's not the outcome that happens. It's how you handle those stages where you're in profit, you're in losses, but the whole goal is to win more and lose less, because we're trying to make profit here as well. That's it. But that doesn't define you as a trader. It shouldn't be, because the only thing that we can control is our mind, our money, our trade management, how we put it on break even, how do we trail our stops. That's the only things we can control. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys learned something. And if you stayed tuned into this video, make sure you guys subscribe and follow me on IG. If you guys want to join the Discord that we have, the free Discord that we have, DM me on IG. I can send you all the links and info. And yeah, I'm just being transparent here, documenting my life as well, documenting my trading, and hopefully you guys learn something. Make sure you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and yeah, happy to give value to you guys. Peace out. It's your boy Curbs. I'm gonna sign out. Peace.